Hi, my name is Steven. Welcome to the Superhero Post Show, where we talk all things DC, Marvel, and Star Wars. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about Doctor Strange. So, we have been seeing a lot of plot leaks, and so much crap has been coming out that, I'm starting to really get kind of like, my gosh, how many of these things are we going to read? How many plots are, excuse me, water. How many plot leaks are going to come out with this crap? Okay. I'm just like, okay. So let's read this thing, and we're going to break down what I believe and what I think is a lie. Okay. Now, all right. It says the movie will start with a different Doctor Strange and Wong in an alternate universe that's seemingly very identical to the MCU. We are meant to think these are our Strange and Wong. These alternate Strange and Wong are then unexpectedly killed by an unseen force rather violently. These are supposedly the most violent deaths. Sorry, fix my mic. Sorry. These supposedly are the most violent deaths in MCU history, pushing the PG-13 rating. We get to see perspective of the unseen forces as it stalks these alternate Strange and Wong variants, which I think is homage to Raimi's Evil Dead. Okay, now this is someone else typing this. This is not my words, just put it out there. The main MCU Doctor Strange will discover that the MCU is starting to melt. Okay. Strange admits to Wong that Thanos was actually meant to win Endgame and that he forced fate to change by manipulating the events that will lead to Tony's sacrifice. The various times Strange messed with reality is what's causing reality to break down, including the events of No Way Home. Strange finds Wanda and asks for her help. Strange knows everything about Westview and has been observing her. The orchard Wanda lives in actually isn't real, it's an illusion. She's actually living in a creepy forest. Wanda reveals that she has been studying the multiverse, saying that there is something in the center of the multiverse that might help Strange fix the MCU and give Wanda what she wants. Something that even Strange hasn't heard before. Excuse me. Strange knows that Wanda has been hearing her children calling out to her. They use each other. Wanda uses Strange to find her children. Strange uses Wanda to navigate the multiverse. They meet an alternate Mordo who starts attacking Strange, mistaking him for another one. Mordo tells Strange that the biggest threat in the universe is a version of himself who seeks out other Stranges to kill them and absorbs their power, wanting to be the only Strange that exists. The evil version of Strange is similar to the one in What If, but is a separate character nonetheless. This version of Strange is from a world that has a history that's identical to the MCU, except in this one, his Christine Palmer married another man. After the wedding, she gets hit by a car and dies. They meet another Strange. This one has a different costume with a ponytail. This Strange comes from a world where the other half of the Avengers got dusted before the snap. They never got the people who were dusted back, so this Strange built a new team called the Defenders, inspired by the original Avengers. We meet plenty of Doctor Strange and Wanda variants. We also get to see the aftermath of the timelines where Thanos has won. This is said to have a rather terrifying scene. Evil Strange isn't the main villain after we were led to believe that he is. Wanda betrays Strange once they got to the center of the multiverse. It was actually some sort of magical totem on a pedestal. Wanda uses it and gets corrupted by the chaos magic. It allows her to finally pinpoint her children in the multiverse, and at cost of endangering everything. They also fight various monsters across different universes. Wanda finally finds her children, but they belong to a slightly younger Wanda. This Wanda is the sister of Quicksilver from Fox's X-Men universe. Wanda kidnaps the children and rampages through the Fox universe, which is now also breaking down. The Fox X-Men show up. The three Strangers team up against Wanda. There is no way to fix the MCU and Evil Strange's universe. Evil Strange goes insane and fights Strange and Defender Strange. He ends up killing himself out of guilt. Movie ends with Wanda sacrificing herself merging the MCU and Fox X-Men universe. The MCU is now retconned so that the mutants were always there from the start. Okay, so this is a lot to unpack here. So we're gonna be here for a little while. So strap in your seatbelt and get ready. Okay, so the movie starting with a different Strange and Wong in the alternate universe, I could definitely see that being a start where we all think that after No Way Home, I mean, because in the trailer he's kind of walking in and everything's melting away, and I could totally see like uh, them melting away and losing, and then like all of a sudden like Doctor Strange, we pop into the actual timeline where Doctor Strange is, after the events of No Way Home. Okay, now we're just gonna get to some of the parts to me that seem kind of funny. Okay. So we know where Wanda's at. Okay. This dude's acting like no one knows where Wanda is, fam. We saw where she was at the end of WandaVision. Now, do I think she's living in a creepy forest? I don't know, and I really don't care. Okay. It doesn't matter if she created with her imagination or what, or illusion. It doesn't help the story. But if she made this illusion herself, cool, whatever. I legit do not give a frack about that. Okay. And obviously, I'm pretty sure like the whole Wanda children, like how Wanda having children having her children calling out to her, that's obviously proven because we saw that in the end of WandaVision. Now, here's my thing with Mordo. Could this be a alternate Mordo? Because at the end of Doctor Strange 1, we see Mordo walking away, doing his own thing. Could this be, I mean, like, what if, because Mordo is one of Doctor Strange's villains. My thought, guys, is, I mean, I could see Mordo being more of like, he's been traveling the multiverse. And he finds these things out about Strange as he's traveling through the multiverse. Because this guy's been going for a minute. And that's where their confrontation could have happened. I think the idea of having a alternate Mordo would kill because like in Doctor Strange 1, you could tell that they're building to something greater for Mordo and Doctor Strange, like as in their competition, them going up against each other, they're building up something big. So I can really see that Doctor Strange and Mordo stuff being something deeper. If it's not an alternate Mordo, it has to be the Mordo from the MCU main timeline, and I think that's not true. Now, obviously, the evil, and so with the whole evil Strange thing, I legit thought this was Doctor Strange out of the What If series. I was like, all right, they just put him in here, but so I am very excited with that. And now that with this leaky person talking about how Christine Palmer is married to another man, gets by a car and dies, it's very, very similar to what we saw in the MCU timeline. It's very similar to what we saw in the What If series. And it would be crazy if everything we saw in this trailer happened in an alternate reality and not in the MCU timeline. Like, what if this was just a whole, like, what if this all the things we saw were kind of like another situation that didn't fail, and like we haven't even seen like any piece of the actual movie that's with the main Doctor Strange, that's with the main Wanda, or with the main Mordo, or with any of the main characters. Like, that's what's scaring me. Okay, not scaring me in a bad way, but like that's what I'm really like anticipating, honestly. And I can see it's meaning a lot of Doctor Strange and Wanda variants. Now when it comes to the X-Men, I'm very confused how this could work, with the whole merger, like with the merging into the MCU. So her kid, and this is what they need to explain, right? So in WandaVision, right, her kids die from her imagination, whatever. Like they get, because she created them, they die, not die, but they vanish, get taken away. So my question is, when she heard her kids calling out to her, are these kids calling out from a different situation in another timeline? Or are these the actual kids that vanished in the end of WandaVision? Because what this leak is telling us is that she goes into another timeline and takes the kids. So that just really makes me think like, okay, so if she's going to another timeline to take the kids, then what happened to the one, like, was that the end of the kid? Well, like the ones that died in WandaVision, Because she says you're going to find them again. Was that just the end of their story, or are we just going to take, or she's going to take a variant? And I see no like. If I'm thinking from a common sense perspective, if I want to take a child, right, from another timeline, and if the child knows that I took them, like wouldn't that be kind of weird? Like, don't you think the child would resent them? But anyways, that's my opinion. So, now I'm just gonna reread this whole X-Men stuff before I just give my quick opinion. Wanda finally finds her children before they belong to a slightly younger Wanda. This Wanda is the sister of Quicksilver from the Fox's universe. Wanda kidnaps the children and rampages through the Fox universe, and now, which is now also breaking down. The Fox X-Men show up. The three Stranges show up and team up against Wanda. There's no way to fix the MCU and Evil Strange's universe. Evil Strange goes insane, fights the Strange, blah, blah. Movie ends with Wanda sacrificing herself, merging the Fox and X-Men universe. The MCU is now retconned so that the mutants are always here from the start. So there has to be more explanation in what this guy just said. Okay, from what this guy just said, this leak person, it's confusing me. There has to be more context to this. Like, for her to merge the MCU and the Fox universe, is she casting a spell? Which was what I would like. What does her death do? Like, is my guess is she the reason why they're not merging? Like, is she the one holding back the merge from happening? And when she dies, it merges. Like, is it because now that the multiverse is melting and messing up, are all the multiverses coming together into one? And that's what Wanda and Dr. Strange are trying to avoid. And now that everything's kind of going back crazy, she has no choice but to die. She can't hold it, and then everything emerges. So I don't know. Like, and then the MCU being retconned so that mutants are always there from the start. What does this change from the past? Does it mean we'll get like a quick 10-minute run through of every Avengers movie with mutants now? Where the Avengers now have Wolverine? Dude, what about Hugh? If Hugh Jackman comes back, are we gonna see him with Iron Man or something? Like how do you do that? And because if the Fox universe, if they're bringing back old characters for this movie, they're not obviously going to be our new X-Men for the future. So how the heck are you going to put them in everything if most of these X-Men aren't the future of the MCU? Unless if we're getting the new X-Men with the old X-Men in this thing. So I know I just spat out a bunch of information, and I don't know if it was organized in the way I said it, but these are just I'm free thinking right now. These are my thoughts on this whole leak thing. I could see some of this stuff happening, but this guy just gave no context to what he was saying, So I would love to this guy to come back and give us a more well thought out plot and find some more answers. But I believe some of it. I don't believe all of it, but if this does become the movie where the X-Men universe, the Fox universe merges, I just can't wait to see how it's going to fill in with all of our past movies and stuff like that. Because to me, that's very important. So thank you guys so much for watching, listening. Please like and subscribe, and show some love, man. We post every week. We have podcast episodes that come out every Monday. So show some love on that page too. But yeah, so like, subscribe, man. And this is great content, guys. Show some love, man. Have a nice day. Deuces.